All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the All Things Gratitude podcast. My name is Nick Dorsey. And a lot of people on coaches and so-called experts always talking about being consistent. Our next guest is a model of consistency. She does videos, content, and engaging in other people's posts. And that is huge. And that's what's led to over 200,000 followers on LinkedIn, people. That's how you personally brand yourself. Exactly what she's doing. And also, she's an international award-winning photographer, and that's just great to hear and know those skills. And she's an author and more. Finding your life changes your plans. One, please welcome to the All Things Gratitude podcast, friend of the show, Rachel Beck. What's up, Rachel?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. Good Saturday morning.
Yes, it is. And I know you have a busy day, so we're going to get through this. And, I know you have a big day coming up tonight with Passover and everything. And it's a big day for a lot of people out there. So,
Happy Passover, everyone.
Yes, and this is huge for a lot of people. And, but hey, Rachel, thanks for being on. We're just talking about in the green room, which is great. One thing is how people are reacting on LinkedIn to mental wellness and everything, because there's a lot going on, especially with COVID right now. People are isolated and people are pouring their hearts out to look for support, and then some other people just don't know how to react to it, and they just put down some of the rudest comments, and it just sucks to see that. And I know you're helping out a lot of people and trying to be there for a lot of people. And what's going on, and I mean, how do you think we should react to people, who make comments like that? And what should we do?
Well, there's a couple answers, and I'll be honest with you.
No problem.
So I had PTSD, right? And when I shared my story originally, I got a huge amount of support and love from my network. It was amazing. It truly was amazing. So what I do now is, so let's say you're opening up about a mental health issue. And I'm a huge advocate for standing behind the mental health community on this platform. Like, we need to use our voices to end the stigma around it. So let's say you're pouring your heart out, right? And you're sharing, one of my friends just did this like last week, and you're sharing you have anxiety, or you have, fears, or you've been through a traumatic experience. So I'm going to support your post, and then I'm going to look at the comments. I'm just being honest with you. So what I'm doing now is, if people are coming behind you and they're encouraging you and they're supporting you, I'm going to go through, Nick, that entire post and start following those people. I just did it 2 weekends ago. One of my friends poured out his heart, and I saw all the support. When I see people who are judging people for their mental illness, when they're not a therapist, they're not a psychologist, and please get the help that you need. Not in the mental health field. Please get the help that you need. It breaks my heart. And so I go through, and it's, okay, I want to know who this person is. Why are they being unkind? It's important. For some people, they're using their voice for the first time ever. And that's why I've been doing this show for a year, because to show that we are human behind that circle, that we are way more than a number. I've had some people come in and pour their hearts out, really deep, traumatic stories. And they need support. They need love. This is what they need. Nobody is in a place to stand and place a judgment on this platform. Period, the end. And that the judgment, the criticism of others, it's not necessary. It shows, let me say this, Nick, it shows who you are and not the person you're criticizing, condemning, you're putting down.
And I never understood why people do that. I mean, it's almost like just trying to get a reaction. That's all it is. And it makes no sense. I mean, I was in the app Clubhouse, and we had a Clubhouse room once, tell us your story. And we just thought it was going to be like LinkedIn and work and everything. And man, we had some mental wellness stories on there, anywhere from people being raped to abused to just horrible marriages. And I was like, I wasn't ready for that because that wasn't the direction we initially thought it was going to go. But man, I got some great podcasts out of that, guests. And we came on the show and they were on the show and people would just message me, hey, thank you for that. I really needed that. I really needed somebody just to say something. Now it makes me feel like I can say something, and I think that's great. And that's great what you're doing, Rachel, is because, you're right. Me and you or somebody else, maybe we're not therapists or anything, but they can maybe hear our story too. And that could help them if we've gone through something. Maybe it's not to the level they are, but knowing there's a voice that's there to help them. And especially with you, Rachel, I mean, let's be honest, you got a huge network, and people see that and they respect that. So if they hear it's coming from somebody with a big network like that, it could help them too. And like I always say, Rachel, it only takes one person to change somebody's life on this platform.
And that's what we're trying to, right, Nick? We get up every day and we're trying to. And, you and I as content creators, we are not responsible for people's words that they write. Right? We're here to educate. We're here to lift people up. We're here to empower people. We're here to motivate them and get them through this pandemic. Yeah. And I tell my network all the time, like, here's some tips. I want you to succeed. But because I am so passionate about using my voice for PTSD, because Nick, I'm not ashamed. Mm-hmm. There's only one person on this platform who knows why I had PTSD, because I shared the story with him privately. Mm-hmm. So I don't wish what I went through on anybody. Yeah. That's the reality of it. So it comes to being empathetic. It comes to being a compassionate human being. And I plead with people every day to do that.
And it's gratitude. Hey, look at that. Perfect for the show. I love it. And that's why I try to keep my LinkedIn stuff fun and everything, because everybody, no matter what stage you are, needs to laugh. Laughter is an amazing thing that can change your attitude. And some people just need to learn how to laugh. People smile and kind of do a ha, 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 ha. No, but they really need to learn how to laugh and come from deep down, and, one big thing I know you'll probably agree with this is, you have to, and what you've gone through and what you're doing now, you really have to learn how to love yourself before you can fully give that out to someone else, and that's a big thing. And we all work on it every day. I mean, you can look at our lives and people are like, oh, Rachel has this many followers. Nick has this many. Nick has a podcast. Rachel has a live. Doesn't mean our lives are perfect, people. We still have to work hard at them. We still have to go there, but we want to take the positive experiences that we've done and help other people too, and just reach out and, and it doesn't have to be a help where I have to call them or anything. It's just that maybe they hear something on a podcast. Maybe they read something in a post. We just see a funny video and it just changes their day. That's all it is. It's not hard. It's just giving back.
And it comes down to surrounding yourself with the right people. Hey, Joseph. And it also comes down to surrounding yourself with the right people. Right. So I'm very clear about that. Like I have a kind, positive network. I put a bubble around you guys. And I don't let things cross that bubble, because that's what I want. And you have a choice. Some people are going to keep taking whoever I don't do that. Like first impressions to me are everything. So if my first interaction with somebody is not so great, it's not going to work for me. Like, I love my network and I'm going to protect them. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's like I heard somebody say this, a podcast host. He has a small network, relatively small. We'll call it like 7,000 or 8,000 people, but he calls it their tribe. And his tribe will do anything for him, back him up and all that stuff, and he'll do anything for them. And that's what it's all about right there. I'm just like, you know what? It's not always about numbers. Personal branding's great. The numbers are great for personal branding, getting out there, but Rachel, let's be honest, 211,000 followers, something like that. You're not personal friends with 211,000. No, you put it out there, but there's like a handful of people like mine. I have a handful, like 12 or 13 people on LinkedIn that are just, I can go to with anything. I can talk with them. They'll give me the right advice. I can't go to 17,000 people, because some people, followed me and I just, to be honest with you, I have no clue who they are. I've seen them once and that's it. It's just like, hey, but it's cool. It helps my branding, gets my podcast out, but it's that little tribe of people that I know I can go to that will support me when I'm trying to help someone else. That's the big thing. Like this person you talked about that you opened up your feelings to, about what's going on. That person you can trust now because that hasn't left that person.
100%. I would love to drop his name because he's phenomenal, but 100%. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about support. And let me say this is what people are missing. Like, build the friendships. I tell my network this all the time. Take the time, get out there, engage. Most of the people that have built real friendships with, it's because they were engaging on my post. And we started talking, we had conversations. Then we'd go into like a private DM. And then we would come back and we'd get on the phone. And you can do it. I worry about my network. I know what's going on with them. They write me. I know the serious stuff going on. So they build those friendships. People are missing that. They're absolutely missing. And I can tell. It's really obvious to me when someone's being opportunistic versus being a real friend. It's obvious.
Absolutely, and I'm honored with that because you have such a big network and you're always commenting on my posts. So I really appreciate that.
I'm happy to support you. This is what it's about.
I appreciate that. And Joe made a great comment here, taking the online offline.
Yes.
And I know Joe made that comment because I have met Joe and have dinner with him. And
Joe's awesome.
I had a job during COVID where I traveled a lot. So I was traveling through the pandemic, but I got to meet every time I went to a city. If somebody felt comfortable enough to come out and have dinner with me, I was able to do that. So Joe was one of them. Erica Warfield was another one. Jordan Mendoza was another one.
Jordan.
Yeah. Ira Bowman. I met Ira. Peter Hammer. It was just so much fun meeting these people and seeing them. Russ Johns. Taking that offline, and I was very lucky to be able to do that in a time where, the country is a little, things are a little different right now, and, but looking forward to be able to do that again, and find some more people and just maybe find a central spot. Maybe we can get like 10, 12 people and just come to a central location, like to a resort or something, and just hang out for a weekend, and
it would be epic.
Yeah, but I think the world, we really need that as human beings right now. That's the thing, like people come from states that are totally locked down, from a state that and not the difference between when I was a state that was from a state that's not, just the mentality. You can just see it's hurt them, and I can't wait till we can help those people they can interact with people again, because self-isolation and isolation is a big thing. It is big. People don't realize it, but it's been a year now in a lot of places, and it's not good for people mentally. We're humans. We're meant to interact with people.
Right. We're social creatures. And Nick, that's exactly why when this happened last March, you are most welcome. Thank you. So let's talk about it. We want people to realize that people are home. That they need, this, I'm going to say this, Nick, and I mean it because I've seen this happen this last year. Leaders are going to rise and fall right now. I'm not talking, when I talk about this, I'm not talking about on LinkedIn. I have seen the worst leadership in companies this last year. I have zero respect for them. Yeah. The way they've treated people are going to rise and fall right now. We all know that. This is not the time that you abandon your employees. You abandon, people, because like you said, they're already isolated enough. So this is not the time. So you and I are trying to get people through this and saying, hey, we're going to be here. We're going to take you through this process. And when things get back to, I don't think there will be a new normal. Things have changed forever. You and I both know that. Then you and I will take like a week vacation. But we know, right? I would not leave my network right now. It would not happen. I'm not going to do it. Some of them, they need just every day, just to know that somebody is there for them right now. It's crucial.
Yeah, it is, and I've talked to people on the phone. I've messaged them, and there's some of the strongest people I know, and they're struggling. I mean, it's not, listen, people out there, if you're listening to us right now, just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're weak. Okay. Remember that. It doesn't. Everybody goes through lapses in their life. Everybody goes through stages where they just need somebody else there. They just need to talk to somebody, they just need to know they're supported and loved, and that's huge right now. And just everybody today, tomorrow, Monday, whatever it is, just reach out to one person, just text one person, just call somebody you haven't talked to in a while, just see how they're doing. Guess what? That changes everything. Just out of the blue call. I mean, that's what I ask for everybody right now. Just do that. And it's amazing what it does for people. It absolutely is. So, I mean, I do it a lot. I know you probably do it a lot. I'll just out of the blue on my drive to work, I'll just be like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. How's it going? And they're like, whoa, hey.
So. Yeah. Nick, my relationships are everything to me. That's never going to change. Like my relationships are everything. So even if I'm doing like a text or I'm like, hey, what's going on? Or if I know somebody's going through something. I have a couple of people in my life right now who are going through some really serious stuff. It's, hey, I'm thinking about you today. How are you? What's going on? Is everything okay? That's what people need right now. It's not to be forgotten. It's not to be. They need people to reach out. Yeah. Just you could do it through text. How long does it take you to say, are you okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you okay?
And you can do it anywhere because I have an Apple Watch. I just talk into my watch and I can text somebody. It's simple, people. You don't have to sit there and look at this. You can just done. I mean, it takes a couple seconds. And that's what I tell people. It takes a couple seconds. If somebody doesn't reach back out to you, I mean, you can't control that. But if you're doing something, you're doing the good deed for the day. You're doing the right thing, So people, that's big. So Rachel, with everything that you're doing on your network, reaching out and everything, what else is going on in Rachel's life?
Well, I just moved to Florida a month ago.
Awesome.
And so I'm really happy. A lot of my family is down here, so it's good to be, back with them. And so it's been a lot, getting up, moving, and and I ran the business through, the entire process. People were really surprised. And I was like, hey, I moved to Florida. Like, I just did videos, so, and I'm I want people to light up the power inside of them. I have incredible mentors. I have 4 in my life. And then I have some on LinkedIn, but 4 members that have been in my life. So I want them to know to reach out. There's wonderful mentors on here. Reach out. Just reach out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I've had 3 mentors for like 10 years now for my career, and that's been huge. But guess what? They've always also helped me personally. And that wasn't the aspect of it or aspiration when we started. It was all about building my career. But as you get to know people, and here's the thing with mentors, people, it's not just somebody out there who's in that field. For me, mentors is really connecting with somebody and really understanding, having them truly understand you and you understand them so they can give you the right advice. My mentors, there's one in my career field. There's another one that I've worked with, but it wasn't in my somebody that was finance. But it was great getting people from 3 different angles because it wasn't just one idea of what I do. They're looking at from an outside the box. So yes, that helped me a lot. And my big thing is my father. So that's a big thing for me. He knows the best out of anyone. So,
I'm losing you, friend. I'm starting to blush you a little bit.
It's okay. It's again. My hair.
I can hear you, but the screen's
is it black and
yeah. All right. You're coming back. You're coming back. I see it.
We will talk. People will hear us. So, yeah, internet's been weird. They're really building around our neighborhood, and there's a lot of houses going in now, and they're building a neighborhood across the main road here. So they've been working on everything. This whole area has been crazy the last 4. Everybody's been moving to Arizona. I'm telling you that right now, and it's just nuts.
I had family that moved there a couple months ago. Yep, absolutely.
I mean, it's hard when it's like 70, 80 degrees year round, to say no to that. So
they were extremely happy.
Yeah, I am too. Hi, Penny. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
So
you touched on something really important.
Yes, let's go for it.
Yes. I wanted to talk about this because the one thing, Nick, I've seen this last year, which was really hard to see, and I know a couple of my friends have seen it too. There's 2 things that people really, really fail on this platform: attitude of entitlement, and that will close a lot of doors for people. The people who are constantly dropping their their post and DM. I don't even go to them anymore, it's just. There's one of my friends wanted to address this. People don't use please, thank you, and you're welcome. It's not difficult. So I promised one of my friends, and he's so funny, that I was going to work on bringing etiquette back and business manners to this platform. Because in all honesty, I wouldn't work with somebody who didn't have manners, who didn't have etiquette. So it's something I'm trying to accomplish in 2021. Bring back the manners.
It's not hard. And here's the thing. My wife and I talk about this. We're grateful for everything that's happened in our life. We've been at highs. We've been at lows. And we're grateful because it could all be gone tomorrow. And let's think about, look what COVID did a year ago. All this shutdown, lockdown happened about a year ago. We're getting that 12-month mark. Not saying it's going to happen again, but something could happen again like that. And how are we prepared for it? How are you prepared for it? So everybody have a solid plan B. There's a thing. Think about that, and it's just please and thank you. I know the world's in a rush right now, trying to get back to the so-called normal and wanting to, and just, but still, you got to remember to, be grateful and just appreciate what's going on, because trust me, a lot of people, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, and, just third world countries, it could be a lot worse. We could be there. So think about what we have here too. We're very fortunate for what we have. No matter if we're struggling, we're still better off. And I know people are going to be like, well, you're just saying that. Fine, whatever, but it's how you want to take that in, if you believe it or not. And I truly believe, we're going to be okay, everyone. Everything's going to be okay,
why? Because we have each other. This is what people are missing. We are a community. We are a family. That's what people are missing. They're missing that core. I mean, influence. Social media influence. We know that. We know that this is a family. This is a community. Yeah. Built the relationships. We know what's going on, in people's lives. Don't miss building relationships. In all honesty, Nick, if I was going to refer somebody, right? And I do that because people will reach out and say, Rachel, do you know so-and-so that, for this field, and I'll send them the profile. I would do that if somebody has etiquette, if they have manners. If my experience with them was rude, there's no way I'm going to refer them for anything. That's because I've said this before. I represent them as much as they represent me.
Absolutely.
So I vouch for somebody and I say, he is a phenomenal human being. He is a complete professional. She was a joy and pleasure to work with. And I've worked with a lot of people on this platform. So I'll jump on and go, okay, you definitely want to hire her. You want to hire him. So that's what people are missing. That's what they're not understanding.
Here's one of my favorites on the platform.
Hey, how are you?
Savor the flavor of awesomeness. I love this. I need to meet this dude one day just because
he's so kind.
I'm like, at first, Kenneth, no offense, man, I thought it was a fake profile with all the stuff that I was putting out, but the dude's so consistent. He's on my posts all the time and everything. I'm like, okay. And then I saw a video. I was like, this. I'm like, it's positive all the time. Staying right there is a model of consistency, being positive with people. And that's the big thing. Why would you want to brand yourself and be a jerk? Where's that gonna do in life?
I have no idea.
I mean,
no idea.
Does it get you a lot of numbers? That's weird. I don't see how it makes you a lot of money. On this platform to brand yourself and make it a business and make money. I don't know, being a jerk to people, how that happens.
I don't want to work. I want to work with yours. I know you don't.
No, and I'm not saying this person's a jerk, but I commented on this post yesterday. It was funny, and it was a snapshot about polls and everything. So I put down one of my polls on there, and somebody responded. The person never responds to anything, and then they tagged him. Are you out there? And I was like laughing because there's all these comments and nobody's on there, but he's got a huge network. I'm like, got to be in a pot because there's no way this is. I mean, there is no comment from this person.
Well, I can tell. It's
just crazy.
I've been trying to teach people to leave like meaningful, real comments. Like instead of the very basic cookie cutter comments, that's what makes people stand out. Mm-hmm. I've read some phenomenal comments and then have reached out to that person and was like, wow. Like an hour ago, there was a post and it was a pretty charged post. I mean, there was a lot that could be said about this post, and I was just horrified. Horrified that like some of the comments people wrote on it. But we're gonna keep working on it, Nick. We're gonna do it. We're gonna keep. What? Really? No. Oh.
I know. Just come back to me. I love you, Kenneth, man. It's all good, man. I know you're real. No, I think it consists. I think a good thing what people miss out too is don't engage just with the person who's creating the post. Engage with other people on the post. That's what's big because you already know that person on the post. So you're really not doing much more. But if you're engaging with people on that post that aren't in your network, that's where you're building your brand. That's where you're getting yourself out there. That's where you're showing yourself to more people. That's the huge thing. Engaging on the post, but then with the comments within the post, with other people. That's the big part of it. Back in the day, Ira and Tina Oliver used to do their Friday night lights and all that stuff. And it was a big network thing. It was fun. But the point of it was to engage with everybody engaging on the posts. You'd go in there and engage with 50, 60 people that weren't in your network. Then all of a sudden they are after that night. But that's what made it fun. That's how I met a lot of people that I actually do talk to today. Is because of the fun things like that, engaging with other people, but not just the content creator. So I think that's huge, and people miss that.
And let me say this too, because I've had this happen to me 3 times this year. Okay. People are crying out right now for help. And I'm talking serious, serious help. I caught it 3 times this year in the comment section on one of my friends' posts. It like stopped me in my tracks. Like it was serious. Like to the point that I was like, I reached out and said, do you need help? I saw it 3 times this year. It was just a simple sentence. You could tell the person was like on the edge. I'm like, do I need to call somebody for you? Do you need help like immediately? And I asked people, because they do this, Nick, they fly through the comment section and they don't take the time to look. There are people reaching out right now. Mm-hmm. And for some of them, like for the 2 people that had written the comment, I flew over as fast as I could. I was like, are you okay? Are you all right? People are reaching out right now. And for some of them, it's a make or break moment. I stopped in my car for 45 minutes, saw the comment by the guy, reached out to him. He was across the world, and spent the time talking to him and said, what's going on? Like, do you need a mental health person? Can we get you the right person? People are writing comments like that right now. Mm-hmm. And that's why I plead with my network every day, don't fly through the comment section. Take some time. That's happened sometimes.
And also, please look at the people who are asking for it, because there are some people out there doing fake stuff, and it's not fair because it's not helping. It's not helping the people who really need it. I mean, so, I'd say do your research a little bit too as you're going through those comments and everything, because I mean, there are just some people trying to gain attention. That's it. It's not fair. It's just, to me, it's dumb. But I mean,
been in my network for quite some time, so I knew something wasn't right. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, stop, listen, slow down, because it's people do and I'm like, wow, someone could have. That was really powerful. That person is looking for help, and if they want to do their part in the pandemic in their home right now, they can do that. They can do it.
And I can only imagine, all the notifications and everything you get, because I'm sure you're tagged constantly. So, it does take some time, people, and if you're at a 9 to 5, do it during your lunch break, and like you said, read them, especially if it's a real serious post that somebody's really, that's a deep post. I'm not saying everybody's posts aren't serious. Trust me. I'm not saying that, people, because they're serious to your business and everything. But if somebody is talking about, a health issue, a mental issue, just something that's really personal, take the time and go through it. It's okay. Like I say, you never know whose life you can change by just saying hi or just listening. That's all a lot of people need. Just somebody to listen, and that's it, and it's not overly complicated. But the hard part is reaching out, because some people are scared to reach out too. Even the people who aren't having reaching out to somebody who's you, they're just scared because they don't want to tell them the wrong thing or give them the wrong advice, and that's right. You just need to listen to it.
And maybe you can get them. You can get them to the right person. Like if they're like, "Hey, I need," and I'll go, "Okay, well, I have a ton of psychologists or therapists, and my network will go, okay, wait, let me send you in this direction. Connect with her or him. Let's talk. You brought something up. Great. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Tagging.
What's that? Tagging?
People. I've told my network knows it. Like people over tag. I've stopped going to the posts that people have done it to me where I have like zero relationship with them. They're being opportunistic. They just want me to show up, to have my network show up. Over tagging can really destroy a relationship with a content creator. And you and I aren't responsible for what people do. My network knows that. They know that. So the over tagging, that is there's only a couple of things I could say that you could really destroy a relationship with a content creator, and that's one of them. It's one of them.
I get you.
Not thinking that we're not intelligent human beings and understanding exactly what you're doing. That's
engage my posts, and some don't engage in them, and that's fine. I'll do an outreach to somebody huge, like across the world. I'll tag them on there every once in a while, just open it up to a different part of the world. But I agree with you. I've been on posts where people tag like 100 people, and I'm like, come on, man, it's not happening. And only 10 of them are engaging. But I'm sure you get it more than I get a ton of people tag me on stuff. I have no clue who they are. Every once in a while I'll go in there, hey, thank you for the mention, and just leave it at that. But I don't engage on the post big time, because one, it has nothing to do with me. Two, I don't know what their agenda or what they're trying to do is. And I'm not trying to sound mean, but there are agendas I still want to live by. I still have certain things in my life, that I don't want to be associated with certain things. And there's two things on LinkedIn I don't want to be associated with big time. I will say some things is religion and politics, because those are the two biggest fights you can come across on any social media platform. Do I have my beliefs? Yes, I do. Will I say God bless you with the amen stuff? Yes, I will. But I will not jump in more than that. Politics, I have my view, but I guarantee 90% of you out there don't know my view. And because I'm not going to put it out there, because there's no reason to start a fight over something that is opinionated. You know, I mean, just because we have different opinions doesn't mean you still can't get along. And why even start that fight? You know, I mean, I just don't engage on those posts usually because they get heated. I'll read them. I'll read some of the comments and I'll know, maybe I want to stay away from that person for a little bit, you know, but, and I'll just laugh and be like, okay, I agree with that, but I'm not going to say nothing. I'm like, I don't know what this person's thinking. But at the same time, Rachel, like we talked about in the green room with the people I work with, you know, it's just, you've never walked in somebody else's shoes. You don't know where they came from. So you really don't right in their mindset. So, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So I just stay away. So
yeah, and people, Nick, honestly, I just dropped a post about this last week. I see it all the time. People write posts that exclude people. I see it all the time. It happens. You know, I'll fly by them, and I'm trying to create that consciousness. Like, is your post excluding people? Because I see it every day. I'm like, well, there's a whole bar community that won't engage. So that's really important. Like, don't make a post that excludes a whole community, a whole group of people.
Yeah. And some people it's hard because they're in sales. And but I see what you're saying. Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's like my post. I'm not a huge, big time content creator. I'm not. And I'll admit that. If I want something crazy content, I got some copywriters in my network. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. Can you help me out here? You know, but I'm like posting those posts like, post your funny gifts, you know, what's your favorite commercial right now? And I'm having the humor because my podcast will carry out for the whole week. This will run for a week, you know, and it does usually for me. And I'm very grateful for that, you know, so that helps out a lot of my engagement. I'll put polls out because I'm kind of laughing about polls right now because I tell people, I go, my heavy engagement in the last month has been because of polls, not because what I'm creating. It's unreal. And so I'm like, hey, why not? Let's put them out there. But the crazy thing is I'll ask some crazy questions like, a fun one we had, you commented on it a couple weeks ago was, so what are you having for dinner tonight since it's Taco Tuesday? Tacos this or that? My God, that thing went viral. It went viral. It was a freaking poll about Taco Tuesday. Or I did one about, are you going to drink green beer on St. Patrick's Day? My goodness. I was like.
But that's fun. And people like you were out. Like we need to have fun too. And that's what we do. We do it with our LinkedIn family. We do it with our community. I have like core friends that they have me rolling every single day. They're seriously the most hysterical people. And that's fine. That's important.
But that's my brand. That's what I branded myself as fun. You know, I mean, one of the most fun posts I've done lately, it was I don't know if you've seen that new Geico commercial with Tag Team in it. They're making ice cream and everything. Oh, freaking!
Okay,
Google it. It's in my favorites. I have it up on my favorite category, but or featured. Sorry, and it was hilarious. I mean, I got some huge engagement, and people are putting all their commercials down, all these video clips from YouTube, and I'm like, this is fun, and I like doing those on a Saturday or Sunday. To be honest with you, I go weekends are for fun.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. Yes. I think you froze a little bit. I'm gonna wait for you to come
back.
Okay, you back? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. But
you gotta let your hair down. Have a good time. Like laugh with your friends, and that's what gets you through it, right? Because in a lot of ways, let's be honest, we're all working together.
Yep.
LinkedIn is one big working community. So the friends that I have is every day, good morning, how are you? What's going on today? It is that kind of friendship. It's like, this is our virtual office. And it would be like if you and I were walking in, we're hanging at the water cooler, and I'm like, what's up, buddy? What are you doing? What are you doing today? It's that kind of relationship. So it's our virtual office every single day.
And especially, you got to let your hair down now. Being in Florida, you got beaches and everything around you. So, you know, it's a whole different lifestyle now for you, you know. So, and that's awesome. You're close to family now and everything. And that's huge, you know. One part of Arizona was being around family. That's huge. Well, cheaper taxes, better weather, all that stuff costs a living cheaper. That helps out too. But I mean, it helps when there's sun, for 320 days out of the year compared to I came from where there was rain 200 days out of the year. So it's mentality's changed 1,000,000%, on that. Just there's the mental thing again. Mentally, it's helped out a ton. It's weird. People don't realize sun, no rain, when it's not gray, does help out a ton, people. It really does. So, hey, Rachel, I know you have a huge day coming up. I know you got a lot coming up. We talked about it. Love to go on a live sometime. We got to do this again on both sides,
I'm happy to come back, Nick, anytime, because there's a lot of things you and I could dive into. So it is my honor and privilege to be here. Thank you.
We're going to leave with Kenneth on this. I don't have a brand.
I'm
just me. You are, man.
No, I have to give it to Ken, too. He has an excellent photo. I just want to close with this.
Yeah.
Take time. Get a good photo. It makes a huge, huge difference. Some of the photos, let's talk about that next time. Right? Some photos I see are downright scary that I don't even, I won't connect. I won't follow. Give yourself the chance. Yeah. A good photo, it is worth everything.
Yeah. Especially people on LinkedIn. I mean, they're fun for Instagram and Facebook, but not your LinkedIn profile. I mean, I always say have fun, but it's a little on the professional side to enjoy it. So, hey, everyone. Rachel, tell everyone where they can find you really quick before we take off.
Just reach out and find me on LinkedIn. I wish everybody a beautiful day. And thank you, Nick. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Rachel's profile is linked in the comments below. So is her website. You can find me over there on LinkedIn too, YouTube, Anchor, all those fun places. Hey, guys. I want to thank Rachel for being on the show. Next week, 8 a.m. again on Saturday. We'll be back. That'd be Pacific time now because we don't have daylight savings in Arizona. So, hey, everyone, have a great weekend. If you're doing Passover tonight, happy Passover to everybody. I mean, enjoy this whole season, this religious season if you're into that. Thank you, everyone, for being on the show, and see you next week.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Appreciate you.